Good morning. Look where we are. New location for me. Another place I've been wanting to visit for a long time. I'm at Pin Mill and I'm so excited. The only thing is I'm not excited about is blue sky. Predicted cloud all day. Blue sky. So that is going to be a challenge. The good thing is we've got some light coming onto the boats as I'm talking to you. See a bit of light on the boat. But I wanted to talk to you today about new locations. Studying them beforehand, before you even get to the location, actually studying it on Google, on other people's images, on the actual location, where to park and things like that. And how I do it is, first of all, my main tool is Google and seeing someone else's image and thinking, I want to go there. So finding out where the location is or getting a tip from a friend, which is another thing. And that's why, again, get involved in these groups and most people will tell you where these places are. So then I'll study that, I'll look at some images that people have taken, and I will actually take that same image even, but at least I know that there's an image there. See if it's taken at sunrise, at sunset, so I know what time of the day to go, things like that. Obviously if we're near a beach, we need to know tides, so we'll study that as well. Then what I'll do is, and what we've done this morning is, we've got here at least 3 hours before we're going to even think about taking images, and that will give us plenty of time to study the area and see if there isn't any other compositions here. There is a composition. It's going to be the main one. It's going to be this boat here. This is the image I had in mind. I've got an image in mind. This is the image I want to take. I do love how the light's catching it at the moment. And what I'll do shortly is, after talking to you, is actually compose that and get that image. What we are hoping for, long exposure, fine art photography. If not, it's going to be difficult unless the weather changes. It's not looking good at the moment. That's the challenge we got. Obviously the weather is a real critical thing, but don't let the weather stop you coming out and trying. And if it is the first time on the location, don't expect to get that banger. Don't expect it. You need to normally visit that place 3, 4, 10, 15 times even. A couple of times I've been to locations and I've been so lucky where I've got exactly what is predicted and what I wanted. And a good example today, like I say, it's supposed to be overcast all day today, then rain later. Looked at it, beautiful, clear blue skies, hardly a cloud in the sky. So it's not what we want at all. Okay, yeah, so it's just visiting them new locations. How do you find them? The other thing I will do is just because there's this area here doesn't mean to say there's something just around the corner. So I'll look on Google Maps, Google Earth, again, study what people are taking around that area. And normally if there's a good photo with a good sunset, you know, you can get a good sunset there. If it's a good sunrise, you can get a good sunrise there. And that's how I studied the locations, and that's how I find them. Okay, this light catching here is really nice. What we was worried about is we're in shadow here, but it looks like as the sun rises a little bit, it will balance that image out a little bit. That's going to be another challenge, balancing that image from these shadows into them super highlights. It is going to be a challenge, I must admit. Okay, we'll probably get another half hour, and then I'm going to start setting up the camera and see if we get a composition. At last, we've got some cloud cover, and it's totally balanced the image out. We still need a little bit beyond us here. Actually looks like it might rain. So yes, everything's starting to happen. The water's coming in quite quick now, so we can start taking them images. We've been talking about compositions. Obviously Martin's pinched all mine.
this works out any good, I'll pop it on the screen.
But hey, you know, we've got to start somewhere. I assure you that's the other way around. So we've got one comp set up, or Martin's just to the left hand side of me, he's got a comp, very similar compositions, but and then there's one or two round this right hand side that I want to try and get. But yeah, everything is now coming into play. The next thing we're going to have to watch is actually getting wet. But we've still got still 2 hours before high tide. So we've basically got 2 hours this side of taking images and 2 hours this. So we've got 4 hours to try and get the image that we're after. The composition I'm shooting at the moment is basically the two boats, one this side and one there. Trying to separate these boats, so when I do edit it in Photoshop, it's going to be a lot easier. Besides that, simple image, the one boat leaning the other side, the other one's leaning the other way, get the mast in the top, pointing to the top left hand corner, job's good. Got that shot. I think I am now going to move around. I'll move on, get another image. Okay, so what we've both done is we've just gone and took a shot while it's nice and overcast and it's actually just spitting the rain slightly. But we've both gone and got a shot without anything in the foreground. And that's just in case we need to blend it when we get into Photoshop and start editing the images. And it just gives you that security blanket in case you struggle. At least you've got something to just compare. Keep the tripod the same height, just move over, get the shot, come back over, same settings, done, because I'm bracketing the shot at the moment. I'm doing one at about 15 seconds and one at 30. So I've done 2 shots, so I can use them if I need to when editing to get rid of all this mess and things like that. I don't think I will need it, but if I did and I didn't take it, I would be gutted. But this, as it is now, besides that little bit of drizzle that we got contend with, is perfect. As you can see, we're now in the river. Yeah, and it's coming in quite quick and we've still got plenty of time. This is super. This is absolutely super. We've got to move the bags back a bit, but this gives us loads of time to concentrate on some photography and not rush it because you've only got 20 minutes of the tide coming in and out. So that is a real bonus. What I suggest you do, if you do come to this place, come about at least 3 hours before, because you're going to have a good hour and a half to 2 hours for photographing each side of the high tide. I think the tide is about 4.5 meters today, 5 meters. So that if you have a look when you come, it'll give you an idea of when to actually arrive on location. This is superb. This is superb. Now I'm doing a pano, and as you can see, I'm at the limit of my wellies, but I'm not because they're leaking anyway. So that's one of them. My foot is already wet. The only difference is, I suppose, it's a warm wet because it's seeping through the welly ish. So yeah, I've done a pano, but I've had to manually bracket it as well because the sky is quite bright again. So we've lost that. As soon as it goes dull, what actually happens is it balances the light out from foreground to background. When we get that, the sun then comes out, it's casting its light on the foreground, and then we're in shadow. So it's very difficult to get the image balanced, exposed balanced. So that's the challenge we've got at the minute. There is some clouds again coming over, but I think they've only broken, so we're going to have to wait a while, but I think it is going to improve again. But yeah, that's my pano done. I think Martin's going to do a pano. I'm still going to try and get 1 or 2 more images because I love it now the tide's right in. It's really tidied the scene up no end, absolutely no end. It's totally transformed it, which is superb. Okay, I've done on my pano. I'm gonna move on. Another tip on this location, obviously for the first time, is when the water does recede, it recedes extremely quickly, or it seemed to anyway.
By wellies at work.
And by wellies at work, definitely. I've got one that half works and one that definitely does not, but at least it's a water storage device. I'm trying to sort of end the day on a couple more shots. It's bright, but not as bright as it has been throughout the midday, and I think this now is actually quite suiting it nice. So I've just come into the water a bit, wide angle, and getting these actually it's 3 boats or 2.5 boats. There's this little red one here, and then the 2 angled ones. Done some panos, tried to get some other images. Looks fabulous, to be honest, and I've pretty much manually bracketed every shot because it's been blowing the background out, and I might just need a little bit of detail in the background. So I've exposed for the background and then the boats. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some good images. I can already see them in my mind when I've edited the images. I can see that the fingers crossed are going to work. one of the best tips I can give you is buy a decent pair of wellies, because these are not decent wellies. You know what I'm saying? Amazon Prime Extras. I don't think this one's quite as bad, so I must have got them half price. Yeah, half price. So yeah, it's first time here, learning curve. I honestly think we've done as best we can. We've definitely done the right thing by turning up super early. Now we've had the drone up. It's nice to get the drone up with the water around the boats. Martin's flew his through. I'm not. But yeah. What a great morning then. What a fabulous, fabulous morning we've had. Thoroughly enjoy it. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Check out Martin's channel. He's a lot better photographer than me, a lot better videographer than me, and he just needs subscribing. Okay, till next time, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.